Hi guys, 732 Review Crew back. I am Mikey.
I'm Eddie.
And I'm Mike.
This is season 1, episode 13 of Fringe. Now, last episode of Fringe,
God, I hope they do a luck episode.
Walter grew. Olivia did stuff. I lost track of my thoughts.
Walter became a giant?
Yes.
People's brains were melting.
Yeah, that was the
Figured
case.
it out.
And Mikey's too.
Apparently. Now, I keep thinking about this too, and I always forget to say, I spent a lot of time getting ready to look for the Observer in these episodes.
You keep forgetting.
I haven't given it a thought.
And then as soon as the episode starts, I forget that he exists, and I'm like, oh, the plot. And then the episode ends, and I'm like, son of a gun, I forgot to look for him. So that's gonna be my new goal from now on, is to try to look for him actively. So let's see if that works.
Mikey will find Zero in the next 80 episodes.
Let's find out. Thank you for joining us. We're starting this episode of Fringe in 3, 2, 1. He's probably on the plane.
He's in the clouds.
It's him right there, right? That was him.
I don't know. Sees a bald man. It's gotta be him.
We're gonna go back and check. The void capture? The void.
Dangerous.
Uh-oh.
Already had one man melt on a plane.
No,
Why is he shaking his teeth?
that was a good call.
How'd he get this on a plane?
I mean, it's just a swab.
No, it's fluid. It's under the ounces.
It doesn't look good.
Excuse me, I need to talk to you.
Yes, sir, I'll be with you in one moment.
No, now! There's something happening to me that I don't have the time or the permission to explain to you.
What is it?
You need to listen to me very carefully.
Permission?
I need you to go to the passengers. I need you to collect as many sedatives or tranquilizers as you can. We will die, all of us, if you don't do what I say. I'm going into that bathroom. You keep me in there. You keep that door closed. Get whatever sedatives you can as soon as you can.
You go in that bathroom, sir.
I am not messing around. If I don't answer, or if I do, and what you see isn't me anymore, you keep that door closed.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Oh.
He's spitting all his teeth out.
Why didn't he bring Xanax with him?
Oh!
Ew.
Is he a porcupine?
The captain says we should restrain him, but I've only...
Oh!
Porcupine Man!
What the fuck?
Why did he think that bathroom was gonna hold him if he turned into that?
Well, it was the only door that was usable.
Yeah.
Fair. Is the plane gonna crash in this soccer field? Oh, something just came out. That's Porcupine Man. He absolutely just came out. He's in the woods. They have to fight Porcupine Man.
That's Bigfoot.
In the woods.
In the woods.
Liv, what is this? Is this Mom's?
Oh.
It's from John. You told me that you guys were...
Didn't even
He
tell your
asked you to
sister?
marry him?
No, and whatever was between us was a lie, so that he could gain my trust so that I didn't see him for what he was.
And I thought Greg was a jerk.
Hello?
Oh, Scott was just...
Porcupine Man in the woods. Get to New York.
Whatever happened up there, I'm guessing has something to do with what I'm about to show you. It's burned badly. Forensics thought it was an animal at first.
Oh no.
No one's ever seen an animal like this.
I will say this. Our friend here didn't start out this way.
There's 147 passengers.
Guys.
It's gonna be a long few days.
Sure, we have to stay there with
The way this thing works.
works.
John
What it
Scott.
does to you. It's a heart.
I think this is our guy.
The fried dog man?
Yeah, Marshall Bowman. We need to pull
not a
everything
dog,
we can
dude.
find on him. Call it my gut.
Okay, dude.
At this point, he's like, I don't even... It's worked before.
It's above my pay grade. She hasn't been wrong.
She's an oracle.
Hence the 1/2 rule regarding nipples.
The 1/2 nipple rule?
You just had to ask it.
What is
The
that?
typical number of young in the litter is usually equal to half the number of nipples on the animal,
Huh.
barring extraordinary cases when the young far exceed the number of nipples.
God, I hope I never have to hear him say the word nipple again.
There's something hard inside here.
A biochip.
Just like the one they found.
Unless a tumor is
Right
made of
early on.
glass.
Yeah, he had blood on his
that he
chin.
brought to Massive Dynamic to, like,
Oh yeah.
read.
He outdid himself this time.
Maybe he's gonna get impatient to sell it off.
Okay, this is gonna sound insane, so let's just put it in the category of crazy things happen in Walter Bishop's lab.
Okay.
John Scott and I shared consciousness. Some of his memories are still in my head.
His memories.
And sometimes I get flashes.
I'll bring him in.
He's just cool. He's just a ride or die, dude.
You love this guy.
He's just a ride or die, man.
Dude, he just saw Porcupine Man.
Bishop's House of Horrors.
Anything else?
Yeah, Walter seems to think that he was dosed with some kind of designer virus.
So it was intentional.
Hard to say it was an accident. This stuff doesn't exist in nature.
I don't believe it. We found a similar disc on the DEA agent a few months
Yeah,
back.
you're right.
This is wonderful, don't you agree? It's just like a good detective movie.
This is Marshall Bowman. He was on
Wow.
board that plane. I believe that you and Marshall Bowman conspired to distribute a deadly virus, and this is the unintended result.
You're not kidding.
Oh shit.
No.
Come on, Walter, warn them.
Tissues won't help. Get me some sedatives. Now.
Oh, he knows.
I may be able to suspend the process.
No! Not yet. Not until he talks. Please! You want help? I want answers.
Hardball of Olivia.
Must have been those. Conrad.
That's freaky.
Yeah, well, I mean, they should all clear that room if it's the same thing.
Or point guns.
Well, it seemed to have resolved itself.
I guess so.
Olivia's alive. Don't ask what happened in that office.
The good news is that I have already synthesized a preliminary sample of an antidote. I'm testing it on tissue samples as we speak. And a watermelon as a control group.
What's the watermelon for?
It's a virus. What's that?
Oh!
He's gonna have a disc in his hand.
Cut it open.
Cut open his hand.
What?
He's eating the watermelon.
Of course he is.
I like cutting.
I want authorization to exhume John Scott's body.
John Scott.
I think he may have one of these on him, too.
They don't have John Heck's body.
Can't dig up John Scott's body and that other disc. It didn't go to the NSA.
Massive Dynamics.
The font is crazy.
For what it's worth, it was not my decision to keep this from you.
How is she gonna see John's body?
That's the leaf. That's the leaf.
With the triangle.
They're behind it all. Abstergo! Goddamn Templars.
We've kept him in a suspended state because we believe that the information stored in the disk's self-destructs when the disk's host dies. Seems to implicate Agent Scott as part of a bioterrorist cell.
Awfully
There were also
suspicious.
references to a Conrad. We believe he's a scientist, designing chemical and biological weapons for sale on the black market. 3 hours ago, French intelligence relayed to D.C. that an informant of theirs claims a major weapon sale is about to go down in Chicago.
I'm right, and John was working with these guys. Then he has the answer in his memory, which means that it's in mine.
Olivia, you know how dangerous this is
Tell Walter to prep the tag.
We're going back
Going
in?
back in.
Dude, do you think she's gonna gain telekinesis?
I think she's just super smart.
Well, there's something special about her.
Yeah, I think it's her above average intelligence.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Because then they'd be trying to kidnap Walter, who's supremely smarter.
you're right. Unless they already have.
Other dimension Walter.
Replaced him with this one? Motel?
This is where we used to meet.
The Holiday Inn. Wrong memory.
Don't worry, he can't see you. Remember, you're observing a memory.
I don't know about that.
Hey, Liv.
Olivia, what's happening?
Don't move.
Liv, what's wrong?
Don't move. You were working with a man named Conrad. I want to know who he is and who he's planning on selling it to. They were infected with some kind of a virus.
Liv.
No!
Oh!
What just happened?
Olivia.
I can't tell if he's evil yet or not.
There he is.
I want a ghost friend.
Conrad.
Who is Conrad?
The truth is, they were, they are government agents.
What?
NSA, secret task force. And so was I.
Oh.
We need to talk to it. He was privy to information. Yes.
Oh, they woke him up.
John?
Liv, trust Hicks. He can help you.
John? John?
We have to pull her out.
My contact at NSA couldn't confirm a single thing that John said.
Of course
John
not.
said they wouldn't be able to.
We don't know if the antidote's working yet.
It has to.
Always says I stick my nose in places it does not belong. I know we haven't known each other that long, but you are one of the best judges of character I've ever met. When you were with John, when you were looking into his eyes, was he for real?
Prep Hicks. Ready or not, we're administering the antidote.
An experiment. How exhilarating.
Dragonfly win.
I do have a recorded IQ of
196.
really.
The prospective buyer of this weapon landed in the United States this morning. That suspect is now in custody, and no surprise, 21 refuses to cooperate. And he has agreed to relay all necessary information to Agent Dunham using an encrypted and untraceable two-way radio which we implanted earlier this afternoon.
Implanted?
You didn't have to come with me, you know.
Shady deals with shady guys in shady hotels is my MO.
I'm not scared.
Being fearless doesn't mean you're being safe.
Good point.
I was expecting someone else.
Ernesto flew in, but he was called back to the basement, so he couldn't make it.
Who's he?
Who are they?
She's so smart.
Did you work with Anderson too?
He's testing you. You tell him Peter met Anderson at New College at Oxford.
They met at Oxford. New college. Isn't that right?
What does it matter to you where I met anyone?
Is it an accent?
We met at the White Horse on Wheatley Road. You know it?
I don't recall.
You would. Thai food. It's fantastic.
The hell did he come up with that?
I have no idea.
He does this often.
FBI's apparently terrible at improv.
Why is it always milky?
Little mana bottle.
Conrad would like to see you.
When?
No. We've included this with the purchase. It's a reverse mutator, an antidote. It would take you years to reverse engineer an antivirus. That's why the purchase price is so high. Now, why wouldn't Ernesto call me back himself and tell me someone else is coming to meet?
Uh-oh.
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 Oh, God.
I asked you a simple question. Who was Ernesto meeting?
I need a name. Somebody, anybody else in your operation. Oh no.
John Scott.
Hicks is out!
Okay, that's enough. Just tell him. Tell him I am not getting greased over Ernesto's dirty little secret.
What secret is that?
Shut your mouth.
Ernesto is sick. He's dying sick, okay? He just doesn't want anybody to know.
Who are these people?
Is that?
According to them, Ernesto is sick.
It's true. He found out the day before Christmas.
Kill them both right now.
John Scott says hi.
Despite the successful outcome of this case, John Scott's status remains the same.
Traitor.
As far as this department is concerned, he was a traitor.
That's all right. I know the truth.
Okay, so John Scott, not a bad guy. Allegedly.
I was hoping you'd do me a favor.
No.
Let me back in the tank.
Even if you did go back in, I'm dubious you'd even be able to find him.
What do you mean?
Your brainwave patterns are returning to normal.
Oh. He just needs closure.
I should have trusted you.
No, it wasn't your fault. I always meant to tell you. I guess I ran out of time.
Aww.
I know we can't ever be together. Not really. Maybe I won't know the difference. I'll let you live.
What do you say?
I love you.
Oh.
Interesting one, especially because the ending
It was really sweet.
It was
and
beautiful.
Tragic, and God damn it.
John wasn't evil.
He wasn't, and I think the important thing
He
is
was just undercover.
he was undercover for the NSA in a fringe department for the NSA, and obviously there's plausible deniability with these secret organizations. So if you call and ask like she did,
It was they didn't even say a fringe department for the NSA necessarily.
No.
They just said that he was a secret task force NSA agent playing as a criminal who was also an FBI agent.
Yeah,
as a
he
perfect
was,
cover.
Triple
he was
agent.
the Tom Cruise of the NSA.
Well, I don't even know.
I don't know what that reference is.
Mission Impossible.
Okay.
I haven't seen it.
Now,
It's literally about spies.
We don't watch movies on this channel.
okay, we'll get to that movie eventually.
We don't really.
Now, John's mission, when we find out his mission is to kind of be undercover and discover these terrorist groups and kind of go for them. He would have killed Conrad if he had the option to do so, if he knew who he was, which was the whole thing. Now, the big thing I'm curious about is moving forward, is he going to be completely gone from her head, or is he going to be like a couple seconds here and there? Or is this really just the end of John Scott? In which case, Olivia finally
What do
actually...
you mean they're gonna resurrect him?
I thought it was cute that she got a few seconds.
Why do they still have his body on ice though?
So they usually say
Because
this...
they said they need the body to decode the chip.
Correct. And it didn't work.
Well, they're simulating his.
And now they still have his body and haven't thrown it in the incinerator after failure.
I mean, maybe there's.
They're not gonna keep the body alive if they're not gonna be alive.
You don't know what massive dynamics.
You don't.
They probably have other uses for dead bodies.
No.
They're massive dynamic.
No.
Organ donations.
No. Can't just say no.
No.
All right, moving
That
on.
went somewhere.
So I'm pretty sure the beginning, I would put back to the beginning, the first 10 seconds. I'm pretty sure that's the observer right there in the chair.
He's got eyebrows.
I can't tell.
Yeah, he does have eyebrows.
No,
but reanimation's in like the title sequence. We haven't got one of those yet. Agent John Scott's gonna come back from the dead.
It's a possibility. Or there's an alternate version of him, a different reality that comes.
Maybe they'll spice
it always comes back to the other reality.
Maybe they'll spice him with some demons.
We're trying to
and then
see.
he'll just get up and walk around.
I'm trying to see the observer where he was in this episode.
This was a good episode. See, this is a return.
It's a return to the porcupine.
You're right. The observer's not actually in this episode. That's just a random bald guy.
Wow.
What? This is the only episode he does not
This
appear
is a
in.
return back to the craziness and the actual plot of crazy.
He was so proud he's on the Watcher.
no.
What episode he's not in?
No, they say he's in the soccer field, digitally added in, but when this originally aired, he wasn't actually in the episode. It's interesting.
I'll wait till Mikey wants to talk about the show.
Yeah.
I am talking about the show.
Clearly, this is all important.
So I thought it was very interesting that, especially at the end, that when Walter said, you only can get a few seconds to a minute with him, I truly believe that if your loved one has passed away, a few seconds to even a minute is enough time to just, some people may not feel so, but like it's enough to kind of, even, closure or just, happiness.
He's right there, dude. You don't see him?
Yeah, the dude in the suit.
He's literally right there.
With a suit.
That was him. You're right. That literally was him. Okay, you're right.
Now Mikey can rest.
Yes, but the one thing it made me think about though is that a lot of times undercover agents, even in real life, will die as bad guys and get no redemption because the undercover, the cover must be kept. And in this case, we had...
Wasn't that like half of the Metal Gear Solid games?
Exactly. Yes, it was. But the big thing was this, the first guy, I forgot his name, Marshall. He dies and is a bad guy, but he's actually a NSA agent investigating stuff who's just been poisoned by the the weapons runner. So it's like,
Marshall?
Yeah, he was a NSA agent, they said.
Oh, the first guy?
Yeah.
All three of them.
Yeah. So that's the big thing is like you get
there was a fourth.
There wasn't. The fourth one was Comrade.
No, remember like the original flashback? There was like 4 people there.
No, it was 2.
Well, those were the other.
Not this
that
episode.
that was a separate thing.
Okay. See,
when she used
thank
his
you.
memories to
Yes.
find.
Oh,
Thank you.
That was a different event. Yes, that was him undercover at another event trying to find the bad guys. So John Scott has just been undercover a bunch of times, and Olivia finally knows that Massive Dynamic has the body.
Consistently been undercover, but he was also undercover as an FBI agent. He was everywhere, man. Busy man.
I want to say, is this the first time one of Walter's science things failed in an episode? Because the antidote didn't work.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So I think this is the first time.
Everything else has worked.
I think everything else up until now has worked for Walter, and we've
He was kind of bummed about it too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's rusty.
Crazy.
Well, also, like, you can't just, it's a virus. He looked at it and he made something that held it off for a while.
Yeah, but it came back really quickly, though. It felt like.
Well, enough that they were able to get enough information to get what they had to get done.
Which, by the way, the virus seems horrifying. Your teeth come out and you shoot spikes out. Like, that's
because you grow
crazy.
like new scary teeth.
You're right. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's awful.
Can't imagine that, honestly. A lot of the body transformations in these movies, they show.
The body horror in this show gives me the squeamies.
The teeth was the worst part.
Yeah, no, I hate that.
Teeth is like.
I don't know why that's a shared human fear of your teeth falling out, but goddamn, it is awful to imagine.
Well, because they don't come back normally. So.
Well, never mind. You're right. They don't come back.
They don't. Unless
my teeth from another dimension actually grew back.
No, I was gonna say fish people with shark DNA definitely get their teeth back, but that was not relevant. And you brought it up.
You're right. The one thing I'm wondering too for this show is I wonder if we're gonna meet more NSA agents who are undercover and bad guys that worked with John Scott. Even if we lose his memories, maybe that's how they're.
What if everyone was working with John Scott except Olivia? Even though she was working with John Scott just with the FBI.
Charlie secretly knows, he just can't say anything.
I'm just kind of curious, like, how much John Scott actually knew. Like, how far behind is Olivia in, like, uncovering this world?
Probably a lot.
But, like, if he knew so much, why is it such, like, a problem? Like, why didn't they do anything about it ever before this?
Also...
Well, they said they only noticed the event started happening about 11 months ago.
The FBI started noticing.
Yes, but they started piecing them together, the occurrences. They kind of started noticing the relevance to them. And, whether it's related to Massive Dynamics or the bioterrorist cell, it's interesting. I think it is the bioterrorist cell doing it.
Also, I don't know when are we going to get the reveal of what the pattern is moving towards?
That's what I'm saying.
Because, like, this is all...
Well, I think the show is figuring out what the pattern is moving. I think that's gonna be like the big reveal, like, of the entire show.
I feel like
imagine.
I feel like
sure, but like that's way too much hype to build. You're gonna be disappointed.
I feel like it's the season finale of season 1. We find out like
it's gotta be.
It's gonna be like
otherwise, it's like everyone. It's just too much buildup.
We're gonna find out.
Episodes a season?
20. So I feel like we're gonna find out.
Oh, we're getting there.
Yeah, we're 6 away. We're or 7. I feel like we're gonna find out it's either the terrorist group doing it, Alexander Bell. Not Alexander Bell. I keep saying that's his name. William Bell, the guy Massive Dynamics leader, is doing it. Or, I love this theory, alternate dimension Walter's doing it.
You know what needs to come back, which hasn't been relevant?
An aneurysm.
Alternate universes.
Don't look at your computer. Miss Sharp's arm. Like, they showed it off, and it has not been relevant yet.
Well, didn't they say, how did she lose it? Cancer?
I don't think it matters. She has like a glowy cyborg arm.
I think they were just bringing
it's gotta come back and be like...
I thought the relevance was just how far technology is advanced.
They could have used a lot of other things. I feel like...
the way it looked, it does more than just be an arm.
You should be like a super laser.
What if it's a lightsaber?
She's gonna save the day at the end, Nina Sharp?
I don't think that.
I don't think her wrist is gonna flip
I don't
down.
think she's a good person.
She is the epitome of just a morally gray character.
She is. I feel like she is.
We help the FBI, but also we're super shady.
I feel like she is a good person, but has obviously working for a private company, has personal interests in these situations. The good person thing, I think, is maybe because...
To be fair, though, we now
I
know
don't
that the FBI has been clued into all they're doing with John Scott's body and the disc and everything. So that makes me a little less suspicious of them, because all the things we were like, oh, Massive Dynamic is doing this behind the scenes, like they actually, like
Broyles
the FBI knew about
At least
it.
Broyles knew.
Broyles, yeah.
What if Broyles betrays them?
What's on the discs? What is on the discs?
Information.
But like each one has different information?
I don't know.
I'm imagining.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm imagining. but you need the hosts alive to get the information.
You're right.
Which is a big problem.
That seems really
because we've only found them from dead bodies and Hicks, who's alive. So that one should be able to be decoded.
Now, the one thing I also want to bring up is, so they mentioned there's a French intelligence agency, which is probably the French version of the FBI, CIA. I wonder if there's like a multinational fringe departments like across the countries.
Do you think Interpol has a fringe department?
Yes, and I think eventually maybe it'll be relevant where we go to Europe for a little bit, because the guy who runs the terrorist organization escaped from Germany. So I feel like we're gonna have to work with Fringe Interpol for an episode or two, and then eventually.
I don't think so.
What if they make? What if they're the big group they fight have to make like a fringe department across the world to fight as like a group? No,
so.
You don't think that's gonna happen?
I think you're thinking this is gonna go in Avengers route.
That feels like a Marvel. I'm going the Marvel way. You guys are staying the more gritty way.
Yeah.
Because there's multi dimensions and teaming
I'm
up.
not going dimensions.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think that's about it for this episode.
Yes, it is. So thank you for joining us. I'm Mikey.
I'm Eddie.
And I'm Mike.
We are the 732 Review Crew watching Fringe. If you do enjoy this, check out Patreon. Full lengths on there for this show are available. And Patreon is the reason we were watching the show. So thank you for voting on this, Patreon fans. Make sure you subscribe to the channel itself on YouTube if you haven't already. Otherwise, we will catch you next time. And hopefully we will see the Observer or me next time. Because, oopsies. I was like, there's no ways.
Anyways.
Bye.